Welcome to Jen's Daily Dish, where I bake things on camera for the very first time so you can bake along with me and learn from my mistakes. But today is a special edition because I have gotten questions from a few of you, which I will be answering today. And this is part one, so let me know what your questions are for part two, and I have already got a few ready to go. So let's get into it. First question. What ingredient makes bakery cookies taste better than homemade cookies? Ooh, well, this is a multi-part answer because first off, if you brown your butter, it's going to make your cookies have a more caramelly, nuttier flavor. So that's one way to amp it up. Another way to amp it up is to just take your salt up by just a quarter teaspoon, half teaspoon. That can definitely do it. Another factor is refrigeration, and this is key, and I talk about it all the time. If you refrigerate your cookie dough after you've made it, you stick it in the refrigerator for at least half an hour, if not up to 2 days. That's right, 2 days. And then you could stick it in the freezer just to add on to it. This allows that flour to absorb the sugars and the butters and everything and just creates a deeper profile, a more caramelly depth to your cookie. It sort of is like tasting an incredible chocolate chip cookie versus like a cookie from McDonald's where it just tastes like straight flour. One of the biggest things that's going to make a difference, in addition to the refrigeration, is espresso powder. Oh, that's right. A half teaspoon in your cookie recipes, your cake recipes, anything with chocolate or chocolate chips in it. Add it in. I promise you, it is just going to add this extra thing that you're like, whoa, wow, that cookie or that cake just has extra something that I don't even know what it is. It's going to make a difference. Next question. Do expensive vanilla extracts actually make a difference? Ooh. So here's the deal. If you have a very developed palate and you can taste the differences between lots of different things, maybe is the answer. But otherwise, can you really taste a difference between an expensive vanilla and a really cheap one? Not so much. You're not adding like that much into the recipe for it to truly make a difference. So save your money or don't and splurge. Next question. Why do professional bakers weigh ingredients instead of using measuring cups? Okay. If you are trying to measure something exact, a scale is just the way to go. And I have posted a few recommendations. I've also got recommendations in my Amazon storefront, in my bio. But here's the deal. So imagine you need like a half a cup of sugar and you scoop it. How much does that weigh? Is that going to be the 35 grams that you need for your recipe? The recipe says 35 grams. Is this half cup that you have 35 grams? I bet you anything it's not, because it's either too much or it's too little. It is rare that you would reach the exact amount that is in that half cup. So scale is a better way to go. And if you can't use a scale or don't have a scale, I suggest you spoon things into the cup and then just, let it sort of like sift out. Don't pack it in, unless it's brown sugar, of course. This question's interesting. What dessert from childhood do you wish would come back? Ooh, I still think about this one chocolate chip cookie called Victor's Cookies in a mall in New York. That was just delicious. And I have been able to recreate the dough flavor of it by using the espresso powder and the refrigeration and all that good stuff. What I haven't been able to replicate is how that chocolate melts in the middle. So I don't know, maybe they weren't using real chocolate. It's a possibility. Who knows? Maybe they're using something that's banned today. Also a possibility. I don't know. But I still think about those cookies and I am determined. Here's a question about some of the savory dishes I've created. What is one ingredient that instantly improves almost every savory recipe? Well, first off, I'm going to say if you haven't read Samin Nosrat, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, her book Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat kind of explains everything because that's really what it's about to create the perfect recipe. It's about the salting of things. It's about the acid, lemon juice, vinegar all count there. It's about the fat. Is there any sort of butter or cream in it? And then the heat, of course, that could be actually heat that like changes the chemistry of things. In addition to that, fresh herbs, if you have them, use them because that will take your recipe to the next level. And of course, if you salt along the way as you're making things, That makes a difference. All right, sort of tying into that one, why does restaurant food taste better than your food at home? Well, okay, they're using a lot of ingredients that you might not have at home and or you don't want to put in your food. So like they're using a lot of butter, a lot of cream, a lot of oil, way more than you would put in your own food because you'd be like, why am I going to put that much in? Just would seem kind of crazy. One other thing that they are doing, and like I just mentioned, is they are salting as they go. So they've got separate sous chefs all around. So somebody is, salting the lettuce separately. Somebody's doing the carrots, the tomatoes, this. So when everything comes together, everything is already in a perfect state of the individual items. And so they come together and they're much more savory. But again, they're using way more salt and fats and all that other stuff than you are at home. Ooh, What recipe failure still haunts you? This one. This is the caramel cake that I attempted to make when I was first starting out. And caramel has been my nemesis, but I finally figured out the recipe to that one and have conquered it, happy to say. This cake was delicious, caramel cake, and it had this caramel coating on top, but I really didn't know how to make caramel at that point in time. And so when I made it and I poured it on top of the cake, it made the whole cake slant. It was like a slope. It was terrible. Still haunts me, obviously. Last question. What dessert do people think is hard but is actually easy? Okay, so my brain goes to caramel and it goes to that caramel recipe, which again, I've pointed to before, but my brain also goes to Romanoff, this Romanoff sauce, which maybe you've had in restaurants with berries or in a French restaurant, or even La Madeleine, the fast casual restaurant, has it. Romanoff sauce is so easy to make and ridiculously delicious on any type of berry or dessert or even by itself. So that's my pick. Those were your top questions for this week. Let me know your other questions and I will do another one of these. In the meantime, don't forget to like and follow for so much more because I'm an open book and happy to answer anything.